Oh, lads.
Yeah.
One sec. Yep.
Do I need to say?
I think it would be prudent right now for us
We
to get
starting?
off of our switches and pay attention.
Why?
Fine.
The Pokesci man. Ah. The reason I've pulled you
Probably
away
what
from
you
your
like.
switches is because hello and welcome. It is episode 13. Unlucky for some, but not for us, of the PokePals Pokemon Podcast. And it's a big, big day in the Pokemon world because it is Pokemon Legends ZA release day. Happy release day, everybody! Woo! If you didn't pick Totodile, you're wrong. It's a very big day, as we are only blessed with a new game every year, 2 or 3, depending on how pleasant and polite the Nintendo company want to be to us Pokemon fans. I have just about loaded it up, and I will be rock ready and raring to go into the world of Lumio City as soon as this podcast's end. We've got lovely things that we're going to cover today. We're going to go through some bits of Legends ZA. We're going to talk about the brand new Mega Pokemon that have been revealed. We're going to touch on the Mega Revolutions Pokemon TCG set. Is it a flop or a great drop? Find out soon. We're going to talk about leagues and playing the actual TCG because our very own Pokestrongman has made his way into the real world and has slammed people with his own hands. After that, we're going to touch on the new announcement from Ace Grading. We'll step into the MoanZone, we'll analyse things in our strongest way, we'll play Little Card of Ours, and then we'll see who is the second ever inductee into the Hall of Fame. Boys, how are we? Are we rock ready and raring to go?
Oh, mate. I This podcast is the only thing I'll be putting Legends ZA down for. Like, I've only managed to play maybe about an hour so far, but seeing you beautiful boys, it's enough to keep me distracted until I can pick that bastard back up and get straight back to it.
Honestly, I'm buzzing. I have literally taken today and tomorrow off work to play this game. So I've spent a good 7 hours already on the game. I did do a little Insta Live last night for about 20 minutes and said to myself that I would be staying awake all night playing. I had a rough night's sleep the night before, so it got to about 1:15, and I was like, just get to the next stage, don't fall asleep. But no, I'm really enjoying it so far.
You got to a point of sleep deliriousness that you were just like, oh yeah, and then maybe Tepig is the best starter here.
I unfortunately have already done a rather long 12-ish hour day at work. I've looked at my Switch and been like, oh, please and thank you. And then it's podcast recording time. So luckily, I love this podcast so much that I will put down starting a brand new Pokemon game to do another 90 plus minutes of absolute rock raring fun stuff for all of you wonderful people out there in the wonderful world of Pokemon. Now, with Pokemon Legends ZA coming out, we have had the return of the Mega Pokemon, which I think for a lot of people is a big gimmick and was a big part of their growing up. I always found Mega Pokemon to be really intriguing because it was a way to evolve your Pokemon without evolving your Pokemon. And some of them have been revealed, and people love them. Some of them have been revealed, and people hate them. Now that they are in game and we all get to see them, we can all formulate our own opinions, but we're going to walk through all the ones that have been revealed so far. Kicking us off, I'm going to start with the starter that you should have picked at the start of the game, and if you didn't, you are indeed wrong. Mega Feraligatr. The big man himself has got himself a brand new helmet, and it is wicked. I quite like it. I think they could have done a little bit more, but it is a cool mega form. How do you boys feel about it?
It's probably the most acceptable form of like Digimon that we'll ever get in a Pokemon game. I think the leaks ahead of time actually did this model a bit dirty because he just looks so derpy and like his face was just a weird shape. But the more I'm seeing it and like the actual in-game sprite, I actually think that the model is a lot better than we first thought. Still not great, but it's not as bad as it could have been, and it's not as bad as some of the megas that I'm sure we'll come on to shortly. So for me, it gets like a solid 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree. I think, again, there's a part of me that thinks it looks a bit basic. Again, it's missing something for a mega form. I wanted a little bit more, as greedy as that sounds. But you compare it to some of them, and I'm like, they didn't totally butcher it, so I'm happy.
I think, as
It's
Ed put it
okay.
quite eloquently, they definitely did some other ones that are not as great. And the next one I'm going to touch on, I'm sure we can all give it a little bit of a kick up the bikini bottom because we're going to talk about Mega Starmie. Yes, that is the greatest segue of all time. I am the king. Put my hat in the Hall of Fame. Mega Starmie is the under the sea paralysis demon that I will see at some point in my animated life. It is in the bin with Prismatic Evolutions. If you haven't already, go and sign up to the Patreon and go and watch Set Down and Talk About It, where we break down base set. Yes, I am the greatest man that has ever lived. I can plug anything. Put me in your bathtub. But seriously, we need to talk about how bad Mega Starmie is. You took a Pokemon that conceptually is incredible. Like, genuinely, the way it's designed and the way it looks is a phenomenal Pokemon. Starmie and Staryu, incredible. Like, Misty, Staryu, Starmie, original badasses, very cool, very mysterious with its psychic typing. And then you went, do you know what will do this? A reet goodness. Let's give it leg. It's dog shit. All right, in the nicest way possible, it is dog shit. You have this makes Mega Dragonite look like a top tier design. That's how bad this is, and I am infuriated. I shan't say any more. Ed, Tone, how do you guys feel?
It's a fucking shambles, isn't it? It's like, oh, hello, is this Pokemon Legends ZA? No, this is Patrick. It's so shit. Like, there's so much more they could have done. They could have given it like bigger gem, made it more like elegant. But now they were just like, do you know what there isn't enough of already? Fuckable Pokemon models. Let's give it arms and legs. Let's give it a fucking human proportion. We'll get that straight on the Pokemon Center. My life-size plush is on pre-order, but that's by the by. I just think it's so shit. Like, it's probably the biggest letdown because like Mega should at least change the form a bit. On this one, they've just gone, let's just fucking just do that. That'll do. That's fine. Fucking shambles.
Totally agree. I was saying before the podcast to you boys, wasn't I? I was like, I'm trying to find a way to like it because of how much I love Starmie. And the more I look at it, the more I'm just, oh, for fuck's sake. What have you done? Like, it is ridiculous. Like I said, bigger gem, another star because it's Starmie's one star, Staryu's one star, Starmie's two, another star possibly. Anything to keep the design of it, not make it look like a person in a fucking morph suit. That it just looks like it just looks ridiculous. It is stupid, and I'm so upset. I'm so upset.
I cannot.
The only way they could save this for me is if the shiny variant is actually just Patrick Star. Like that would be.
If they don't, that is the biggest missed opportunity, other than bringing out a plushie that's actually made out of latex. They need to bring out a fleshlight of Mega Starmie, and they need to use the song Starlight, can you hear me the pain? It's the perfect song ever for you to be able to fuck a six-sided thing. Oh, it's honestly it's awful. Like, it's so there are some megas which are not great. Do you know what I mean? But I mean,
Remember when
I
we
was just
shouted
about to say,
victory
I was just
bell?
about to say
take
this,
it all
right?
back.
Because we've talked about it so much. Here's Mega Victory Bell. Doesn't that look decent in comparison? Anyway, so Mega Victory Bell. There it was. You've seen it. I've flashed it on screen. Thanks, Mush, for editing. Moving away from Mega Victory Bell, here's Mega Dragonite. Yep, there it is. Ed's the only one here that's done a 180 on it. Me and Tone still think it's shit. Next, the second of the three available starters in Pokemon Legends ZA is Mega Meganium, which if you say that far too fast will make it look like you suffer from a speech impediment. Mega Meganium. I quite like it. I'm not the world's biggest fan of Chikorita, Bayleaf, and Meganium, but mostly because it has the in-game ability of a wet paper bag in the wind. However, with the addition of a Mega Form and it now coming into what is going to be dubbed in my eyes Generation 9.5, it's got the ability to have a brand new move pool, new stats, an updated moveset, and I think it has the ability to gain a type when it Mega Evolves. I don't know what it is because I haven't got that far. Don't ruin it for me. Let me know down in the comments. By the time this comes out, I'll have played it. So for me, I think it's a good Mega design. I don't think it's the best, but I think it's good. How about you boys?
Disagree. I think it's awful. It's like they've taken like its neck away and replaced it with flowers. And I don't know, I'm just looking at it, and the more I'm looking at it, I'm like, you've actually got Squirtle's head there, you've got loads of flowers, and then you got some green stubs. Like,
Oh my god, it does look like
so
Squirtle's head.
it really does look like Squirtle's head. But it's just, again, this one's very lazy. They were like, oh, let's just make the flowers on the neck bigger. And you know what? We don't have to actually animate a moving neck because we'll just have flowers there, so that's sound. This is poor for me. This is like maybe a 3 out of 10, I think.
I wouldn't even give it a 3. I think it is Meganium. Oh, let's increase the flower. Oh, do you know what? Let's add another one. And they looked at the other one and went, no, let's add a third. It needs a third flower. And they added the third.
DJ
And went,
Khaled.
nah. Do you know what? Let's give it a 4th flower. A little orange one on top. Just a little sprinkling of more flower. And that is it. It's the same Pokemon just with more flowers. It looks stupid. It looks like what are them Victorian ruffle things that the king and queens used to wear around their neck. It looks like that on Meganium. It looks stupid. I'd give it a 2. I'm
Meganium from the Renaissance era.
I didn't realise that Meganium had starred in Blackadder. What do you think of Meganium, my lord? I think she looks like a bird that swallowed a plate. It's funny that I'm sure as we go through all of them, everyone will have a different opinion. I don't think there'll be too many that we agree on. I think we can all agree that Mega Starmie's shit. Other than that, we'll go down the line and we'll see. One that has taken me by surprise, and I'm actually quite a big fan of, is although it does look like it's wearing a beret, the more that Ed mentioned it before we started filming, the more I can't stop looking at it. It's Mega Clefable. I actually kind of like it, and I like that it's been given wings and it has a very fairy-esque look to it, and I quite like it. Although it does look like somebody just went, right, Clefable, stand here, and smushed the Butterfree into its back, I still kind of like it. It's okay. It's okay, bordering on good for me. How about you guys?
I quite like it, other than the beret. If it didn't have that on it, I think it could be like quite a good design. It looks like it's got one of them really stereotypical fucking golf hats on, you know, with the hole-in-one hat sort of thing. I just feel like, again, it's so close, and yet they fumbled it. Like, I love the fact that it actually looks like a fairy now. I feel like Pokemon looking like the type that they are is actually so underrated, and I'm a big fan of this. Other than that stupid fucking hat.
No, I totally agree. I think the wings on it, that the design, if you just crop the top off and looked at it, amazing. And then it's like the top of an acorn has just been plonked on top of it and painted pink. And it looks stupid. And I kind of get it. There's a part of it that's like, oh, Lumiose, France, berets, understand. But it looks like Pokemon have made a really good Mega and went, do you know what, guys? We haven't fucked this one up yet. What can we do? And then they've looked at photos of France and saw berets and went, yeah, let's give it a beret. Fuck it. Why not? It's a ridiculous addition. It's like it hit the mark, and then they went, nah, we need to take this down a bit. That's how I feel.
That's why I say it's okay, bordering on good, because I think there are some
Yeah.
bits of it that could be better. But I do really, like Ed said, it's nice to see a Pokemon that actually looks like its type. So I'm happy with that. Next, Mush, when you're editing this, can you please somehow loop in DMX where the hood at? It's Mega Scrafty. Where the hood, where the hood, where the hood at? It's all right. It's fine. It's whatever. I really couldn't care less or more about it. I am plateauing at it. Yep, it's there. Thank you. Do either of you have an opinion on this?
Oh boy, do I! It is a fucking shambles yet again. This card has mega evolved and gained itself an Asbo in the process. Like, it looks like it's going to come up to me outside the off license and go, "Excuse me, mate, can you buy me some fags?" Like, it's just, it's so bad. Or I'll be on the bus and he'll be like, "You got any games on that phone, mate?" Like, it's just a terrible design. Oh, let's mega evolve him. Let's give him some joggers and a hoodie that he's not even wearing properly. That's what the people want from this design. Absolutely shambolic, and again, just lazy shit. If anyone says that this is their favourite Mega Pokemon, please get yourself acquainted with my palm. Like, it's ridiculous.
We made a joke off air, and I'm gonna say it's bordering on KKK hood, and the holes cut out of the hood as well. Again, it's
It looks like the
why?
bloke from Shrek that goes, "Number
why?
3, pick number 3, my lord." Lucas will love that
I
one.
feel like they could have done it again so much better, and they literally just went make it look like a hooded youth and grunge and stupid. Good, done. Next Mega, let's go. That's what they're doing. It seems.
It's like, oh shit, the game's out in a week. Anyone got any ideas? I'm wearing a tracksuit.
Didn't one of you draw Mega Arbok? Nobody needs a giant snake. We need a chavvy dick. That's how that business meeting went. They went, yes, there's that Pokemon from 151, the originals that's been done dirty for the last 20 odd years. Oh, I'm still bitter. This is where they'll drop one in the DLC and it'll be the best Mega they've ever designed. And then I'll have to eat nothing but humble pie for months and I will get chonky. And it's funny that I say chonky, because the next one we're going to talk about is the final of the starters, the chonkiest good boy of all time. It is Mega Embor. Rate it. Rate it. Rate it. Rate it. I think it's great. I really like it. Its design is fantastic. And I saw the shiny version with the blue flame, which to me is top tier. Thank you very much. Buckets.
No, to be fair, definitely the best of the starter ones. The only criticism I have here, and I don't know if it's just from the render that I'm looking at, but it just looks like he's got a cartoon bacon strip as a staff.
You took the words I was gonna say. It either looks like a bit of streaky bacon, or like what are them crisps? The Frazzles.
Oh yeah,
A long extended Frazzle. He's just holding one of them, right? That's all I can see.
Fry up. Like, it's... Apart from that, though, and even including that, I think it's a fantastic design. I just think, again, it's just like the shiny variant of this is unbelievable. That blue fire, stunning. Definitely the best one of the starter trio, but yeah, it's just one small thing that I'd not necessarily change.
I cannot get the Frazzle out of my mind. You have ruined this Pokemon for me. I'm sure in game, but it's actually moving. It looks great, and it's still a great design, like you say. But for fuck's sake, will you keep things like Frazzles to yourself?
Nope.
It looks like the inner of a chicken mayo. Like, it's ruining my life.
I think the good point here is we need to see its movement in game and how it's rendered and how it's played, because if that is moving as it moves, amazing. If that's solid stiff like that, I'm just going to be thinking of Frazzles the entire time.
Gonna play a bit of Embor. God, I'm hungry. I want some bacon.
I'm starving.
Yes. I'm trying to think of a way to introduce this next one, and I just can't because it just looks like it's wearing the dumbest fucking hat I have ever seen. And it's a real big shame because I'm a massive fan of this Pokemon. But Mega Excadrill. It looks like in every Power Rangers season when they have that one where the Red Ranger goes, "Oh, I gotta beat this guy," and they get the little extra bits added on and the extra armor. It's shit. I'm sorry, and I hate to say it because I'm a big Excadrill fan, especially like Gen 5. I love. There are a lot of Pokemon in Gen 5 that I love, and Excadrill was always a staple of my team because Ground Steel in that region was unbeatable. But for fuck's sake, like, oh god, it's like watching a Sunday League match and the striker scored a hat trick of own goals. It's just, but I'm sure again, like the Emboar and his Frazzle staff, maybe in game when he links all three together and he becomes a big drill, it will look really cool. And again, I'll have to eat my humble pie, but I don't think it will. So therefore, suck it.
I really feel like this could have been great. Again, just going off the render that we're all using as like source material. I feel like if the drill that's on its head was upright, that would change it entirely for me. But it's just the fact that everything is going in the one direction. So it's like he's here, but everything else like ends over here somewhere. Whereas if it was like up like that and then he had the spikes coming out and then it all clamped together and he drops his head, again, that could actually be an absolute banger because it just gives it something. But it's very like, I know ironically, it's very like two-dimensional. It's just flat and it's just missing something. Could have been great, but they missed the mark for me.
I agree with Ed, but instead of having it facing up, I was imagining it facing down, kind of like a mask kind of thing. So having it face down because you think it's going to drill down. I think it would look better if it was facing downwards. But yeah, I agree. I think in game the thoughts of the mechanics of putting it together and having one epic mega drill move sounds great, but just going off the image that we have in front of us, it looks stupid. So it's another one we just need to see in game and actually hope that it's not as pathetic as the still image looks.
I think for any of my Yu-Gi-Oh fans out there, if you picture Noble Man-Eater Bug, that is what they should have done for Excadrill here. Mush, future editor Mush, don't worry, I will send you a photo. But this is very much the kind of design they should have gone for, in my opinion. Just big, bulky, looks like it digs, and is an
The more I
absolute
look
shithouse.
at Excadrill, the more I think it is that one suit that Tony Stark made in the Iron Man cave. Went, Jarvis, burn it with fire.
Pokemon made this mega in a cave from a box of scraps.
It's not great. Anyway, next up we have Mega Skarmory, which I feel like I want to love it because I love Skarmory. It is a really cool Pokemon, and I think it gets very overlooked since its inception. But it just doesn't change enough. They just went, stick a little bit of paint on it, give it some bigger feet.
I'm going to say something here, and I think the second I say it, it's going to completely write off this design. Because at first glance, I actually loved it, because it's like, it's gold, it's pretty cool. Zapdos, but make it metal.
Yeah.
That's all they've done.
I can 100% see where you're coming from. In fact, Tone, unless you've got a really big thing to say about it, I'm moving on because now I'm offended.
I will say that again on first look, as a Skarmory fan, really liked it. I love the color concept they've gone with it. The silver gone replaced with the gold, the black highlights. Love it, but again, there's something missing. It requires, whereas the ones we're moaning about have had an addition that we fucking think it did not need, like Fable. Um, that needs something added to it to be better. That's actually missing one thing. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something that's just not making it as great as I want it to be.
Yeah, it's disappointing. I think I'm trying to find something, but really, it's just disappointing. Like my father, I'm just saddened to see its presence. However, we're going to talk about a Pokemon now that I have a lot of love for because, again, of Generation 5 and it always being an absolute staple in my squad. And I think so far, bar maybe one that I was a little bit omnipotent about and might have called ahead of time, this is my favourite Mega form that I have seen so far. And we are going to discuss Mega Scolipede. Look at that. That is a big, badass armoured bug. What more do you bloody want? I really like it. I think it's a very subtle but worthy change from its original form to its mega form. I like that it grows these sort of extra large armours, the massive horns that it's now got, and the almost Survivor-like tail that it's got going on. I really like it. Like the colour scheme. It's a nice change. I'm really intrigued to know what it looks like when it's shiny. But we shall see. But for me, Mega Scolipede is mwah, chef's kiss. Have that.
No, I couldn't agree more. The colour scheme is doing absolute bits. I think the way that it's, like you say, it's changed, but it's not changed huge amounts, but the additions that they've added have actually added something. They've not gone like, oh yeah, we'll slap another pair of legs on him or something. They've or give him an extra tail or some silly bollocks like that. They've actually gone like, oh yeah, let's make it look like he's bulked up. Everything's just a bit bigger, a bit more like in your face, and again the color scheme on its like horns on the top. Oh, yeah, this is one of my favorites I've seen.
Yeah, no, it's a really cool design. I think it again is they've made the changes, but these changes work, and there's just something about it that's like it's different. It works. Yeah, not the biggest fan of Scolipede myself, but the mega design, I rate it.
As we go into the next few that we've got, we're gonna kind of bunch them together and do a bit of a yes and no. I'm gonna do the Kalos starters. So we've got Mega Greninja, Mega Delphox, Mega Chestnut. For me, Delphox is the best of the three. I don't really like Chestnut. I don't know why. I kind of do, but I kind of don't. I feel like it's not done justice on a picture that I'm looking at here. I think in game I'll be like, actually that's great,
agreed.
or I'll be like, actually that's shit. There's no middle ground looking at its render here. The one that I cannot fathom why they've done this is Mega Greninja. Hi, Mega Greninja. How have you ever considered the idea that maybe you're just upside down? Ninja, but upside down. It's a Pokemon that has been so heavily pushed throughout a large chunk of the anime and in-game and on card, having had the big hitter in Twilight Masquerade, having had that absolutely phenomenal promo card, the Radiant Greninja, the promo one, how all of those have been blown out of the water, ironically, and yet their mega form is, have you ever decided to hang from the ceiling? That's it.
I actually wanted to surprise you boys with this, but don't ask me how, I have some weird connections. But I've actually got the first release of the Mega Greninja card, and it's just this. If anyone wants to buy it, 10k.
I just want to let you know, Ed, that if you look to your right or your left, there is a door. You may go through it. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think
I will actually say just going back to the Delphox, I think I really like the design. I think Delphox has that witchy vibes. It gives me like that classic, like when you're a kid watching the witch movies, the witch flying through the air on their broomstick. I really like the design. There's something about it I like. Definitely the best of the three.
Yeah, completely agree. I think with Chestnut as well, I can see what they're going for. They're trying to make it like gladiatorial or like almost Spartan. But I think the issue here is Chestnut has an awful design anyway. So
Yes.
they'd have to basically rebuild the Pokemon from the ground up for this Mega, which isn't like impossible for them to do, but when you're this far in, you almost have to double down on the bad design and be like, well, we can give him a bit more armor, give him a nice cape, but aside from that, like you can only polish it.
I think for me, when I look at Mega Chestnut, I get Viking Warlord, like a Jarl. Shout out the Poke Jarl, but it's sword and shield on the back, long bit of like dead animal that they've captured and skinned to create. I'm trying to think of the bloody program, The Last Kingdom on Netflix, with Uhtred of Bebenber. My missus will love how I pronounce that. He, towards the tail end of it, has this kind of look to him, and so does Ragnar Ragnarsson. I'm not going to bother trying to do the accent again. I apologise, sorry. But that's kind of where that looks for me, and I kind of like it. But again, I just couldn't give a shit about Chestnut. I just couldn't. I could try, and it would just be a blocked up bumhole day. No poo would leave my body if I tried to give a shit about Chestnut, which is sad, realistically, because I actually think Chespin's quite cute. It's a cute little starter, and I don't mind it. But nevertheless, those were the Kalos starters. Tell us how we're wrong about Greninja in the comments, and then we will just like your comment and not respond. Next up, we have maybe a questionable design, and I don't know how I feel about it, so we'll just go for yes or no. Mega Electros. Yes or no?
Nah.
I'm on the fence, but at the minute I'm leaning towards no. Probably change my opinion in game.
Mega Glorio.
Or as we call him, Tone.
Mega Fleshlight.
All I'm saying, there's three mouths there, and there's three of them.
There's always a plus and a negative, isn't there? There's always a positive and a negative because it changes with the hands. Weird. Don't know if I like it. It's a shame as well because I really like the Dynamo Electric Electros line, and again another Gen 5 staple for me that was always in my team. But nevertheless, we move on. The final one for this bunch before we move on to the next two, Mega Chandelure. Big thumbs up. Thank you very much. That is a fucking good design. That's what we like. That is the expensive chandelier that will hang from my rooftop when we finally have the PokePals podcast mansion.
Yes. I love it. I love it. As a massive Chandelure fan, I
It's
love
giving
the
Jacques
design.
from
I
the
think
Beauty
it's
of the Beast, and I am
incredible.
100% here from it.
I just think they've made the chandelier bigger, made it more gothic, and I love it for it. You don't have to overhaul a Pokemon, just add to it, but in a good way, and that's what they did here.
That is what a Mega design should be.
So I'm going to quickly flash up Mega Malamar. We've had a conversation about our friend Malamar before. I quite like it, and I think that in-game I'll probably like it as well. But then again, I'm a big fan of Inkay and Malamar as an evolution line. I've got a thing about Pokemon that people don't like, and that's fine. Next up, another one that we have discussed, and I think all three of us will give a thumbs up to this one. It is, oh no, that doesn't work for me, brother. I'm going to hold the belt forever. It is Mega Horlucha. Or, if you're a very handsome Scottish man, Eagle Wrestler. Either way, it is a fantastic design. All three of us are big, big fans of the Mega Horlucha. Next up, one that I didn't think I'd like, but the more I look at it, the more I think that is a great way to make a bad Pokemon design a good Pokemon design. It is Mega Binacle. Really hard to not say Mega Bionicle and become 10 years old and have the masks changing every 2 minutes, but it's fine.
Kind of looks like a Bionicle.
I think it's great. I think it's a great design. I really like it. I love the concept behind it as well.
Yeah.
With it's loads of them in one to create a upright walking one. I quite like it.
Yeah. I'm a big fan, and like a very subtle thing that I've noticed, and I think this is intentional, but for any of my Dragon Ball Z homies out there, if you look at its pose in the still that Mush puts up, tell me that that is not the Freezer stance or the Cooler stance. That is absolutely inspired by Freezer, and I am so here for it. Crossovers like this, chef's kiss.
Yes, Dragon Ball.
I really like it. I will just say I'm glad you gave a different origin, and sorry if I might ruin it. I think above the legs onwards, it looks great. It was giving me the Quackrevel legs, you know.
And it's ruined. Thanks ever so much for joining us this week at the Pokepals Podcast.
There you go.
Hi, Prismatic. You've gained a new fan.
It just really takes the air out of me when you just say dumb shit like that.
Justice for Quackrevel.
I see what you're saying. It's like I quite like Quackrevel, but the problem is that it does this stupid dancing shit. Yeah, I can't lie. It's shit. It's a crap design. Nice one, Pokemon. Yeah,
Fucking shambles.
flash up that picture of Ed. It's a fucking shambles.
Oh, hang on. Oh, no.
I was really hoping you were just going to pull out like the words on a stick and you just built them so you could just recreate the picture at any time. Oh, I need to get that done. I'm going to try and design that myself.
That was Ed flexing his.
No, he's recreating the picture.
No, it's the same card from the photo.
Anyway, Challenge from the Darkness is a wonderful set. But from the darkness comes the light, and into the light steps Mega Floette. I really like it. I don't give a shit about Flabébé or Floette, but Eternal Flower Floette is actually quite cool. I think it is quite cool. I think all of us can sit here and be like, nah, it's kind of crap. It's quite cool. I quite like the fact that it's in the game, and I really like the fact that its trainer, whose name escapes me right now, is in the game as well. I think that's really cool. AZ. I think.
Big 8-foot AZ.
Isn't he like 3 billion years old?
3,000, I think.
I love you, 3,000. Oh, Tony!
300.
Unrelated. But yes, Mega Floette. I quite like it.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I think, again, they did something quite clever here in that they didn't actually change, like, Floette, just the flower that they're holding on to. I think it's a brilliant touch.
Yeah, no, I think it's again, as for some of the other mega designs that are there, no, it's a decent design. It's a subtle, nice, good change, keeping the Pokemon design itself the same. It's good. It is nice.
I have a quick question before we move on to the final 6 that we'll try and do a bit more rapid so we can get on to other things. Mega Floette has a bigger flower. Mega Alakazam has more spoons. Would Mega Farfetch'd have a giant leak? Would Mega Surfetch'd have a giant shield and leak sword? It reminds me of the moment, and I'm going to be really niche if you haven't seen the anime, of 7 Deadly Sins, when Galahad of Truth goes into the bar where Escanor resides, and he picks up his axe. He's like, who built this? This is ridiculous. This is completely wrong. And then he just laughs at him and he's like, haha, it is a one-handed axe. And then just picks it up. That for me is how I could imagine the Mega Surfetch'd or Farfetch'd. Sort of like just kind of the same, slightly bulkier Pokemon, and then just quite literally a world-length leak. I think it'd be great. Finally, before we move on to the final 5, we have Mega Pie Raw. Simba on roids, if you will.
What's happened is you've ordered a Gouging Fire cosplay off Wish, and that's what you've been presented. Look at the headdress and tell me that that is a Belgian player.
Right, that's it. It's ruined. I'm moving on. Next up,
Yeah.
we
go.
we. Fuck, I can't stop thinking it. Anyway, next up we have everyone's favourite genetic mutant. And no, it's not Wolverine. Calm down, you Hugh Jackman stands. We have Mega Zygarde. I don't know. The problem is with this one, and for me, is that Zygarde already has multiple forms. Because it has the, like, eel-looking thing, the dog, and then basically Megatron. And now it has Megatron, but with a blimp
Megatron.
or a massive cannon. I'm not quite sure what it is. I think for me, I'm gonna not pass judgment on it until I see it in game because it's really hard to actually make out what the form is doing and what said thing is above it.
I think the one sort of positive I'll give it, it does have that like stereotypical final boss look to it, which I assume will be the case in this game. But I feel like it's far too humanoid for that. Like this could be in any like RPG that you play. This could be the final boss. So I think, yeah, I mean, my favourite form of Zygarde is the eel version as well, and I feel like this is so far removed from that. It's a bit weird.
Yeah, no, I think I kind of agree with Mush in the sense that it's. I don't want to pass judgment yet. I don't understand the design yet, and not where I don't understand it. Where what the fuck have you done to a Pokemon we love like Starmie? This is I don't understand it. I feel like there's more to come. Again, I need to see it in game. I need to see what it actually looks like.
I think out of all of the ones that we've talked about, and before we talk about the final four that are on my list, this is the only one where I'm like, I need some context with that one. I need to know how it's got there, what it's got, because obviously, as I said, Zygarde has multiple forms, and all forms have based on power or how many cells it's got, etc., etc. I need some context to go with this one because I want to know kind of how it got to that state, and I don't think it's the best render because obviously it's quite small. I'm looking at it on my phone, and it's probably not going to be that much bigger when you see it here on your screen. I'm hoping that by the time I edit this, which will be a couple of days before it releases, maybe somebody would have leaked a better render of it. But I don't want to fill this thing with spoilers because this will release only a few days after the games come out, and I don't want to be one of those people that put something on YouTube with a clickbaity title, and then immediately somebody goes,
No,
"You've ruined it for me," because I don't want to be one of those assholes. The final four of the megas that I have on my list, we're going to kick off with a dragon. And it's not the dragon you want to talk about, Ed, so you can hold on for just a few more seconds. It's my favourite dragon because it has a poison typing. It is Mega Dragalge, which for me is a great design. However, I don't know what's going on with the headrest. It's like extra eyes, and I don't know if it didn't have the gems and it just had the tendrils, all for it. But it's like the lie. It's like Bellybolt's side eyes. It's a lie. They're not real. You don't use them. Just take them away. But I really like this kind of like almost gothic / demonic addition. Like this long cape. It reminds me of Raziel from The Legacy of Kain or Soul Reaver with the like torn up cape and destroyed wings. I think that might be the best shout I've ever done on the podcast, and it's only taken 13 episodes. But it does give I'm going to try and flash it up. Mega Dragalge, Raziel. Mega Dragalge, Raziel. That's sort of where I'm going with it. I quite like it. How do you two feel about it?
Yeah, I quite like it. I mean, you take quite an underwhelming design in regular Dragalge, and then we have this. I feel like it is a big step up. I mean, when you look at Skrelp, we are quite a bit removed from that, so this is quite nice.
It's there's just something about it for me that it reminds me. I'm gonna ruin it, and it sounds crazy. It reminds me of like the stick insect bug from Bug's Life, and I don't know why. It's giving something weird about it, or when isn't it in the Bug's Life where he pretends that he can tell the future or some shit. He puts on like it's giving me something from Disney that I don't know. It looks weird, and it's because of the antenna on the top. I just can't stop looking at them and thinking, what is that?
Looking at it again, actually, what I think it's going to be is that's almost like a fake berry. So, like, if you think if its head was underwater, it almost looks like a flower with it growing out and there's a berry there. Then it's almost like all the tentacles and stuff will be below water. I think if you look at it like that, the design really works. If that's not the case and I'm way off the mark, then it's gone down in my estimation.
I like where your theory goes with it, and it is a good theory.
I've just had an even worse thought.
No.
I'm now looking at the antenna. I'm saying it because I can. It reminds me of in America outside the car shops.
You mean a wacky wave inflatable arm flailing tube man?
Balloons. Yeah, it's got two of them on its head. It's just got two of them on its head.
It would distract you in battle, though.
The temptation to just replace Tone with Al Harrington for the rest of the episode is too much. Can you imagine a MoanZone, but it's just... Well, I enjoyed Mega Dragouchi for all of the 3 minutes before I actually played the game, so thanks for that, boys. Nice one. Next up, and one that I think all three of us have agreed that is top tier, it is Mega Frostlass. A paralysis demon that I will fall in love with and probably call my beautiful geisha for the rest of my life. It is incredible. A Pokemon that I think realistically actually has a cool typing and a cool design, doesn't get enough love, deserves this Mega, and it's a good Mega.
I'll admit, I don't normally like Frostlass, but this Mega design, unbelievable. As we all know, I am a big old weeb. I love my Japanese shit. This is based on the Yuki-Onna demon from Folklore. And also, if you're a Naruto fan, look at this and tell me that is not the Reaper Death Seal Jutsu demon. That is absolutely unbelievable. This design, for me, is arguably one of the best, if not sort of like top three of these Mega.
I always feel like I'm really nerdy, and then Ed just pulls out like one show that I've never watched, and I feel immediately put back into my "you're a normal person, mate. Stop trying to claim to be part of our group. Off you pop."
These glasses aren't just for show, mate. I tell you that every episode.
Yeah, I'm just going to agree. Absolute stunning design. A Pokemon that deserves something like this, they've hit the mark on this one. Very good.
The next one, and Ed, I'm sure you'll go off king, I want to talk about is, to me, genuinely, right, the original Pokemon was ruined for me because I looked at it and went, it's Falcor from the Never-Ending Story. And that basically ruined my enjoyment for this Pokemon. And the fact that it is basically in-game fucking useless at times. However, I'm very excited to give it a second go because this Mega form is banging. It is Mega Drampa. Grandpa has got the Benjamin Button effect going on, and my man has doubled down on de-aging. It's awesome. I love it. It's, again, I think a lot of the times we talk about how Megaforms need to change some Pokemon to make them worthwhile, and yet there are some Megaforms that don't really need to do too much for them to be really good. This is one of them. The only thing that I keep thinking when I look at him is, God, I wish he was red because then he'd look like the dragon from Mulan.
Yeah.
But so good. A top design.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this. I'm not going to go off on it too much on this one, but I think it's just great. I really like Drampa anyway. And as well, to me, this almost is a nice nod to the Kamiya artwork for Drampa. Stunning card. I feel like this kind of embodies that. And when you've got like a big dragon, it shouldn't be like soft and cuddly. It needs to be pretty fierce looking, and I feel like they've absolutely nailed it with this one.
Yeah, they've smashed it. They've literally made Drampa go from bitch to badass in one good move. It literally, it kind of again reminds you of them animes where like you've got the olden character that is like looks like he's on his last legs. Do you know what it reminds me of? My Hero Academia, but not that Drampa was like scrawny, but it was like I can imagine Mega Drampa evolving and going, "I am here." Like it looks sick. I'm a big fan.
It's a great change, and not one that I will turn my nose up at. And finally, the final one that we're going to talk about, that maybe I might have predicted. Just saying. No, I predicted it. I called it. Pokemon Watch the Podcast confirmed, because while we were at the Wolverhampton card show, we were discussing about Mega Pokemon we would like to see in Legends ZA. And I said Mega Phalanx. I said, wouldn't it be cool if a few of them, hundreds of them, formed up like Voltron? It's not hundreds of them, it is a few of them, and they are forming up like Voltron. It is the Power Rangers Megazord that we've all wanted. I think it's great. Like, again, Phalanx is not a top tier Pokemon to anybody. I think it's had a couple of cool cards, and I really like using it in game. It's got some good stats, and it's kind of cool. I like the whole multiple becoming one, like Execute into Executor. I'd love to see Phalanx have an evolution down the line where it's all of them formed up into one. It reminds me of I can't remember the bad guy's name from One Punch Man, where it's like the multiple faces on the one dude that's made out of clay. I can never remember his name. It'll do me in now, but it's the one with the marble inside that you've got to destroy to defeat him. That happens at the end of season 1. That was very niche if you've never watched One Punch Man, but hey ho, moving on. But this is a top tier mega design because it makes sense. It works really well within the narrative and the origin of the Pokemon. It is a group of them. It's teenagers with attitude. They've grouped together to fight, and this is quite literally them grouping together to become a bigger, bad asser Pokemon, and I like it. And also I called it. I am omnipotent. Shout me out for psychic readings.
Yeah, I think it's class because like Phalanx is such a meme Pokemon. Let's be fair, and like what I love most about this is the fact that they've doubled down on it being a meme, but it's worked really, really bloody well. Because if you think of like Magnemite into Magneton, like it just that's all it does. They've done it here, and again, it's a class design. Really like what they've done with it, and I could actually see this one being such a sleeper, just in the sense of when the card comes out for it. If you think of like a kid seeing this, it's like what's cooler than a robot with a sword and a shield? Like, there's not a lot, to be fair. So this is one that I think if it gets a good like full art illustration rare, special illustration rare, this could actually be pretty wild, I think. I'm quite excited to see what happens. Am I the only one that can't hear Tone?
Hey, there's always one dick that doesn't unmute.
I just didn't want to say anything because he'd so perfectly started to go off, and I just wondered how long it would take the fact that he can't hear himself.
No. No, I think it's a really good design. I think, again, I don't really care for Phalanx that much. Just an armoured Bob-omb from Super Mario. But this, incredible design. Really cool. And it's like, I remember when playing the games, I was not excited to really catch it at all. I'm excited to catch it to try and Mega Evolve it now, because I want to see it in battle. I want to actually get that Mega Evolve and have that running around with me, especially with the new battle mechanics. That's what I'm really excited for.
I think as well, something you've touched on there that I think we're probably not giving Pokemon enough credit for with these mega designs is how many of these would not have made our team of 6 originally that we are going to actively go out to seek and play as. Like, for me, I mean, I love Dramper, but Dramper's 100% going to be in my team. Frostlass as well. Like I say, don't really care for it. This Mega Form, unbelievable. Really want to have a go with it. I think it's class that, like, these... Again, I'm going to say alternative Pokemon because they're not the mainstream ones. Are getting a Mega Evolution. Some of them have absolutely hit, and I really can't wait to get hands-on in the game with them. So, from that perspective, I think, although we've shat on a lot of the designs, I still think it's been a really good outcome.
I think you put it really well, and I think overall, it's way more positive than it is negative. And I just want to go play. So thanks for joining on the episode of the Pokepals Podcast. I've been the Mersh who likes talking. In a bit. No, I joke. We have spent a good... sorry. We have spent a good bit of the podcast talking about Mega Revolutions that Pokemon can do. And now it's time for us to talk about Mega Revolutions that you can do. Because it's Mega Revolutions TCG has been out for about 2 weeks now, give or take. Give me some time. Now, I only want to have a small discussion about it because I've not opened much of it. Being a Japanese collector, I already did Brave and Symphonia, rips and looks at it well before the English dropped, and because, Japanese doesn't get delayed. Ha ha ha. But we've managed to open some of it. We've even got a little bit of it to open here on the podcast. But before we do open them, I just want to have a little bit of a back and forth with the boys to think, is it a flop or is it a great drop? Now, for me, from what I've opened, what I've seen, the commons, uncommons, hollows, EXs, and the EXs especially hit in this set. It feels like a hit again to get an EX. The illustration rares and beyond. How are we feeling? Because for me, this is a great... What's the word I'm looking for? This builds upon the greatness that was Destined Rivals. Or the glory of Team Rocket and Heatwave Arena, depending on how you collect. Because the cards where you get like the Mega Venusaur and the Mega Lucario secret rares, where you get the original Pokemon in the background in a slightly darker shade, and then the Mega form at the front, and all the SIRs are really good. I don't really care for the gold cards, but I know a lot of people have pulled them. They seem to be quite stoked with it. Fair enough, it's just not for me. There's something about that design that just doesn't hit. I think that the SIRs are cooler than the MURs, in my personal opinion. But realistically, this set is way more positive and way cooler than previous sets we've had. I really like a lot of the commons, like the Spearow and Fearow. I've said to the boys before how much I really love them. There's a Grafaiai in it that I think's beautiful. The Xerneas Hollow, Meganium Hollow, the Alakazam Hollow. I'm not going to flash all of these on screen because I will have a small meltdown trying to find them all. But these are cards that, it would just be bam, 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 bam. Pokelector can't load that quickly. But genuinely, these are beautiful cards that you can get very easily. Not to mention how nice it looks when you get into the rarer tiers. And I think that this sets a precedent going into Pokémon Legends ZA and the card set that will eventually come with it, we believe, that they need to keep this kind of standard going. Because we don't want to drop back down into the prismatic era. No, thank you. No more fucking evolutions, alright? We've had it. Unless you give us a new one, no more fucking EVs, alright? Please, for the love of God, give us a break.
Back.
But how are you boys enjoying Mega?
If you are listening to this and you're an EV lover, you're wrong.
I will say this Mega set has actually probably been one of my favourites. I think it's fantastic from the commons all the way through. MURs, I'd love to pull one, obviously, but at the same time, I completely agree the special illustration rares are better. I think, like you say, the secret rares in this set are some of the most glorious I've ever seen. I actually really, really like the reverse hollow. I think it's so simple, but I think it's brilliant just having that mirror look to it. Because, as you know, we spoke about it previously, the Scarlet and Violet era reverse hollows, really didn't care for at all. These ones, even though they've actually done less, I like so much more. because it's just that little pop of something when you like get it in your pack. I think this set is fantastic, and it's one I wish I was mastering, but I still haven't finished Destined Rivals. I haven't had Destined Rivals since release date, so yeah, I think this is one that I think will go down in a lot of people's opinions as one of like the better sets we've had in the modern era.
Yeah, no, I think I haven't opened any Mega Evolution yet. These are actually the first 2 packs I have. I started collecting in Japanese with this set, so I've gone through Brave and Symphonia, and I will say again, every single artwork, every common, every uncommon, every holo is a stunner, and I love appreciating the lesser rarity cards, but again, I have to agree, it's a set where the secret illustration rares in this are incredible. There's not one I don't want. Even the Acerola is such an awesome card. Like, they're all so good. MURs, if I pull one, I'll be happy. If I don't, again, I'm not really too fussed. I would rather have one of the SIRs. But yeah, no, it's really good. As for the reverse hollows, again, I've not opened any yet myself. On first glance, I wasn't too impressed. It just looked like extra shine, no detail, no nothing. Again, this is someone that has not opened any of this set yet, so I don't know. Until I actually see it in my hands, I don't want to have an opinion and just judge because it's taken detailing away. Because, like we said, the detailing in Scarlet and Violet's weren't the best. So, or Sword and Shield.
I quite like the Sword and Shield reverses with the energy type and the stripes. But then Ed sent one into our group chat the other day when talking about reverse hollows, and I can't remember where it's from. Ed, where was it from?
Sun and Moon.
I will have edited it by now, so I'm going to put that picture now. That reverse hollow style is great, and that was something that reminded me that while I do agree with Ed, I do quite like this. I'm going to call it a blanket shine because there's no detailing in it. It's just the shine, which is nice. I think that it's a lot nicer for certain types. Like, I actually think that steel and normal look great, whereas like grass or what else did I say that I didn't? Well, I think is grass and fire don't hit as good, and I don't know why. But then psychic or purple type and water again look really nice. They have a nice shine, but then I don't know if that's just my interpretation of that color or whether actually that color just doesn't translate very well to that kind of shine. But I think that realistically, this set is a grower. It will go from everybody really liking it to everyone really liking it. And if you're a young person, while you're watching this, we say many rude words. Tell your parents they're not very good. But then stay, subscribe, like, comment, share, and do all of that wonderful stuff.
Take mommy and daddy's credit card and get on our Patreon.
It's always a plug.
Yes.
But realistically, if you're a young person, Pokémon Legends ZA being your first deep dive into a Pokemon game, or even Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, as much as we have been blessed because we've been around for basically the entirety of print, you have been blessed with some absolutely wonderful sets, bar Prismatic, and you will be treated to some wonderful sets going forward because, like we said in our previous episode, that you can go and watch now, it's got some really cool titles coming out, and anything that's tied to those titles is going to be phenomenal, if you will. And also, you've got the 30th anniversary to look forward to. You've got so much coming in the next 6, 12, 18 months that is going to absolutely blow out the water everything that's come for the last couple of years. Because as much as the Scarlet and Violet era has given us so much, just into Destined Rivals, which I know was the end of it, and into Mega Evolutions, you can see the step up in quality and art style, in my opinion, that we're going into. And I think that if Pokemon drop this ball now, it will go down as one of the biggest ball drops in TCG printing.
Couldn't agree more. I think they've set the precedent. I think when we look at base sets for a new generation or series, I think you'd be hard pressed to say that there's one better than this in recent memory. When you look at Scarlet and Violet base, when you look at Sword and Shield base, Sun and Moon base as well, I feel like this Mega one is probably the best, easily the best out of the last three.
I agree, and Ed took the exact point I was going to make. In the sense is, if you look, even when Scarlet and Violet came out, because I came just in time for that, no one cared. Everyone had just come out of Crown Zenith, an amazing set, and then gets to Scarlet and Violet, and they're like, ugh, it's not all that. And I know Sword and Shield had something very similar, wasn't all that. This is the first set in a generation where everyone's like, oh, the first set is good. And we have just come off the back of really good sets like Destined Rivals, but it's really good to see because it is a beautiful set.
I feel like if someone actually master sets this, it is going to look insane. It is going to.
I think we said it in our set down and talk about it, which you can go and see now on the Patreon if you sub £3 a month. It's less than a packet of this. It says a lot to a set when it's laid out. When it's laid out in a binder and you can flick through it. Like my Gloria Team Rocket is great start to finish. There's not a card in there I don't like. I can sit and look at the commons, the uncommons, the hollows, the EXs and everything in between and enjoy all of it. And this set gives me that same vibe. As somebody that doesn't collect English exclusively, I still pick up a few cards here and there. I would love to go and do Mega Brave or Symphonia or both because I love the look of this set. Aesthetically, this has topped Glory of Team Rocket, and I love that set, and I will continually bring it up in podcasts. But it, as I say, aesthetically, brings me so much joy to look at and flick through. Because earlier, before we went on, I had a flick through the Pokelector and just had a look at what's available in the set, just to make sure I can see all of it. And there are so many cool commons and so many cool hollows. Like I said earlier, the Graphite, I love that card. The Shinji Kanda Shanshrew. Oh, there's another Kanda that's a common. Duraludon?
That's in
is it?
Phantasmal.
But that
Flame.
is another one that is coming up in a set in this series that is just absolutely beautiful. Now,
not to mention one of the best.
Yeah, that's Psyduck, which isn't it based off of a famous painting?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Which again, it's really annoying because I went to my local shop today and they had 3 packs left. I opened 1 pack for the group chat earlier and pulled nothing. Actually, no, I got a Mega Absol EX. What am I on about? I got a hit. Big up, which means I'm going to get nothing in these. Jokes, I'm pulling an MUR. It's going to be podcast history. But we've got a couple of packs each. And we're going to do ourselves a little bit of a pack battle before we then talk about battles that Ed had in his local league as he took on the TCG IRL. HDMI, ATV, USB. Yes, that's the joke I made in the last podcast. I've got 2 megas, so I'm just going to do Mega Evolution. Ed's got a Destined Rivals.
Yeah, I'll start with Destined
And
Rivals.
Tone's got two Mega as well. The tins, by the way.
I will say, these tins.
I've got the Venusaur one that's now going to carry my microphones and additional extras for when we do card shows. Which, by the way, we've just done, actually, by the time this podcast comes out. We would have just been the Swansea card show. It was great. We had a lovely time. Ed, when do you go to a show and not spend? Wow, has anyone ever seen a miscut Coke card before?
Oh wow,
10k. I know what I have.
Grade it. CGC.
Purple Energy.
Purple Energy. Oh,
Energy.
Batching is clearly not an issue. Right now, for some reason, Tone seems to be lagging on my screen at the moment. So if everyone just keeps pace with me, so that I can then see what you've got. But I've got a Leafy.
Combuskin. Phoebus.
Makahita.
Corfish.
Lopper.
Ooh.
Oh!
Applin. Go on.
Batching.
Batching.
Cheeky
Little
sandwich.
Ninjaska. Hey,
Shaman.
my baby! I'm going to move in a little bit.
Oh,
I've
I'm
got a
on the
fighting gong.
Okay.
Porygon Z.
Are we on the
and then
reverses now?
first
Okay,
reverse
I've got a
is
Houndstone, and my first reverse
Mushroom.
is a Tangrowth. Right, let's go Tone Ed Me.
Right, you ready?
Yeah.
Just another reverse.
Right, brace yourself for MUR. No, it's a Crawdon. It's right, the MUR will be behind it.
It's almost there.
Right.
Come on, Tone.
And
Hurry
a
up.
hollow. What did we expect? It's me.
Ah, Gorbis.
Oh! As much as it's just a hollow, that Yveltal is great. Where's the camera? I don't even care. That's going in the binder. That's banging. See, this is the thing. This is, again, it's a set that makes me appreciate the common card. Like, I don't really care that much for Yveltal, but that artwork is just... It's the same as the Xerneas. I was saying this to the lads off camera. That the Xerneas I've got in my binder is beautiful, and I love it. Which is fine, because it means I've got an SIR in this one. And
Yeah,
if I
boy.
don't, it's all Ed's fault.
Let's hope.
No, boy.
No! Go off, King.
Nah, lads. I think it's time I actually have a good pull.
You have loads of
once
good pulls.
in a while,
Shay's been on holiday.
because
That shouldn't be that funny.
laughing at your own joke. Wow. Okay,
I haven't got enough cut code card this time, and I feel really offended.
just be in here.
Have I got purple energy? Hey!
Yeah!
Yeah.
That's 3 out of 4 purple energies now.
All right, we've got a Ralts.
Tinkerton.
Oh, roll out.
Oh, God.
Makuhita.
Nuzleaf.
Foodle.
I've got a Thievel.
Helioptile.
Sobble.
Or Heliolisk.
I've got a young. I've got Donald Trump.
Donald Trump going down the stairs. Little
Oh, I've got a Volcanion.
Goldengo.
That's
Oh, it's
great.
got a little Rosie.
Honestly, these artworks are so good. Shift Tree.
A Sunny Boy. Right,
No.
on the reverses yet?
Shedin.
You are.
Oh, I
Oh,
am.
Tone
I'm one
is.
ahead.
Oh, reverse boss is all.
Is that a reverse?
Straight
Yes, I've got a
line?
reverse Gimmighoul.
Go on, Tone.
Right. Me first again.
Yeah.
Here's Sweet Nothing. Sweet Nothing.
Go on, Ed.
I
SIR.
always knew it was going to happen.
Oh, Shuckle.
Go on,
Almost
Mush.
as good.
MUR.
Go on. Oh. Right.
Is
Tone.
there an SR?
Is there Summit
there's
here?
not. Oh, there's
Ah,
something,
go on.
though. There's something, I guess.
Oh, God. Go on, Mush. Bring it
Da,
home.
da, 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 da. Oi! It's your boy.
Ah, steal it.
Steelix.
Okay, so the hit
So,
rate in this set is crap. This set sucks.
I want a pack better.
Bring
Bring
back
back
Prismatic.
Prismatic.
I've got loads of hits. Ed, do you need
Again,
that Steelix for your Steelix
As
collection?
much as...
No, I've got that and the
Oh,
reverse.
cool. I'll
one.
just,
Thank
go.
though. Go forth and procreate.
Just the EXs in this set, again, it actually feels like a hit. I feel like naturally, because of how bad they were in S&V, I was like, oh, but...
I
it's
feel like the
something
hollow
bad.
is
Something
better
like that.
quality hollow
Yeah.
Yeah,
in this set for me.
agreed.
And yet, even just like,
Although my Harry armor is mangled at the top.
even this like this Inteleon, I don't care about Inteleon, but I really like the card art. I also can't not look at Young Goose and think Donald Trump now, but that's the rest of my life. The rest of my life is ruined by
Yeah.
whoever said that to me once.
That was one of the only illustration rares I got from my booster box. Is the
The
bloody
Trump.
Young Goose. Yeah, and I am absolutely fuming. It like as soon as I pulled it, it was telling me about tariffs, and I was like, oh god.
Fuck's sake. But that was a very small Mega Revolutions pack battle. And I say pack battle because it segues me perfectly into sending this over to our Poke Strongman as he talks about the wonderful time he had at a Pokemon TCG League event in his local area. So, Ed, I'm going to sip water and get over the fact that I didn't get any hits.
Yeah, so at the time of recording, last night I went down to my local casual league to play the TCG in person for the first time ever. I did go to a like learn to play event, but you get given like a pre-built 30 card deck and you are spoon fed all the information, so you don't actively like play because everyone's got the same deck and it's like this is what you can do, this is what you can do. But I've got to say, shout out to Incom Gaming in Cheltenham. If you're in the Gloucester or Gloucestershire area, definitely check them out. Um, the staff were very friendly. Like they could tell it was my first time, so they were like, "Yeah, this is how it all works." All of the people that were there were incredible. Like there were, I think, a lot of regulars, and then like 3 or 4 new people as well. So I wasn't the only one that had never actually played before. And when I sat down with whoever I was matched up against, I said like, "Look, I'm gonna be like slow and probably a bit shit. Please bear with me." And they were like, "Oh no, absolutely," because like they acknowledge everyone has to start somewhere. Now I thought I would do quite well with a Mega Lucario EX deck. I've been using it on Pokemon TCG Live as like in preparation for the event. I was like, I'll get a bit of practice in, and in theory, it was brilliant until of my 2 Mega Lucario EXs in my deck, both of them were in my prize cards. So I couldn't get to them until I knocked out my opponent, which didn't happen. I lost every game, and I am not ashamed to admit it, but I had a bloody wonderful time. And I feel like I actually felt like this passionately about it that I voice noted the boys earlier. But in the current state of affairs where everything is all money, money, money in Pokemon, going to an event like this was so healing because I took a trade binder with me. I traded a couple, like a Quaxley illustration rare, a Jinx from the Trainer Gallery or Galarian Gallery, I forget which one it is, and a Celebrations Pikachu. And I got the Ivysaur illustration rare from Mega. So was super happy about that because I love that whole Evo line. And like the artwork again, absolutely slaps. But then as well, seeing the things that people were getting excited about and people were trading cards for their decks, but at no point was value ever brought up unless somebody was actually selling cards somebody needed for a deck. A lot of them were given for free. It was only like as soon as the card sort of hits like £8, £9, then it's a bit like, oh well, if you just chuck me a couple of quid. But it's not like illustration rares. No one's there going like, oh yeah, give me that card so I can grade it and flip it. It's like you give me that because that will enhance my deck. And like people were going mental for like a play stamped like hollow energy or a boss's orders or like an Iono because of what it means in the TCG. And like everyone was super friendly. I didn't even feel bad about losing because it was like a lot of fun and I feel like I learned a lot of things even whilst playing. Like the fact that Mew EX having genome hacking as an ability is a fucking abomination because it destroyed me. And there I am, first ever TCG event, taking an all fighting deck, and what was I met with? Psychics. Just psychic decks everywhere I went. I played 3 rounds, 3 rounds best of 3. Didn't win a single one, so I played 6 games. Got hammered in all of them because everyone was using a psychic deck. But I even felt just in playing those games that I was getting better each time, where it's like you're able to almost predict the rotation of like what items to use, what trainers to use, and when is it worth like actually just binning off your hand entirely, drawing again, all the sort of things of like, it's not just what you do, it's trying to preempt what your opponent does. And for someone like me that like, if I get passionate or interested about something, I go all in on it. It's given me a whole new way of appreciating the TCG because I'm actually going to be playing it. I'm going to make going to this league a weekly thing. I cannot recommend it enough. If you're on the fence about doing it, go try, download Pokemon TCG Live, get your code cards, scan them, see what you can do. There's pre-built decks on there. If you don't like it, at least you've given it a go, but I cannot speak highly enough for doing it. And it's like, this is what Pokemon is actually about. Like, I love the collecting side of it. Boy, do I. But playing the game and being like, no, I am buzzing to have pulled this reverse hollow boss's orders from our pack battle just because that's going straight into my deck because I could have done with one of these fuckers yesterday. I think it was a hell of a lot of fun. Cannot recommend it enough. And when we go to the Swansea card show, we will have been at the time you guys get to see this. I'm not actually going in there now being like, right, I want to get this for a master set. I want to get that card because I think it's cool. I'm setting myself the challenge of going in and like, right, I've got a budget. I want to build myself a competitive deck just from cards that I can get at Swansea card show. So bulk boxes, beware, your boy's fucking coming. Like, I am going to be flicking through everything. I'm going to be getting all of the full art items, full art trainer cards, whatever, which in the past I have shat on and I will hold my hands up because from a collector's point of view, there's nothing worse than getting cucked thinking you're getting a nice pull and then it's a full art trainer or a full art item. I got the air balloon out of my booster box and I was like, oh, that's got a nice border and it's a balloon. It's a big balloon, but it's still a balloon. But now it's like I can get excited about that stuff. I get to tweak decks. It's just opened up so much more like opportunity and things for me to enjoy and memories for me to make in Pokemon as a hobby. So for me, I am absolutely gushing over it. If I go again on Wednesday and I lose 6 games back to back again, come the next podcast recording, I might be like, well, that was a fucking shit idea, never doing that again. But for now, I can honestly say I loved it. I can't wait to get back, and I can't wait to put some time into actually getting good at this, and also just seeing where I can go with it. If I can do like a League Cup, if I could do like a regional thing, that would be unbelievable. And some of the people I was playing against, like they've won like competitions and stuff, and my god, they were playing combinations of 10 cards before my arse had even hit the seat. Like, it was incredible watching them go and just how they did everything. And like, again, what I really appreciated is I asked them as they were going, not so much like, oh, why have you done that, to be like, oh yeah, because I've got this card in my hand that's going to be sick on the next turn. But it's like, after the game, I was like, so when you were like going through, why did you do this? Or like, what would you recommend getting, or like where would you recommend finding information on this stuff? And everyone, because they have this like the same passion, and because this was just a casual league, everyone's just willing to like explain, train. They want more people to come to these things because the more people that go, the better it is for everyone. And again, as I keep going back to, I've got a new way to enjoy this hobby now that isn't just about collecting. It's not about grading. It's about playing the game that this was all based around and getting to enjoy it and make memories in person, which as a massive introvert, as somebody that works remotely, barely leaves the house, it's fantastic and I cannot recommend it enough. So check out an event if it's something that you're interested in. Hit me up on Instagram if you want to add me on TCG Live. You'll probably beat me, so that'll be a nice ego boost, and it might be a nice introduction to actually playing the game for you. So definitely give it a go. I'm trying to sweet talk the boys into it, and if that's something you'd be up for seeing either on a special or on Patreon, let us know in the comment section because I think it could be wild.
I would genuinely rather fight you in real life than fight you on a TCG deck, because it's one of those ones where I've always been intrigued by it, but I feel like I'm. Do you ever have those like when you dream and like sometimes you think like that's what's just happened to me? That's what's just like for instance, right? If I just pick up like a handful of the cards that we've just opened up and such, right? Like I always will read cards, especially if I'm having a day of just sheer fucking misery. If I'm depressed and I'm really struggling, sometimes I will pick up a bunch of cards and I will read them and be like, Greedy Hunt. You may draw until you have 6 cards in your hand. Is that good? Is that sick? Am I then going to be like, haha, motherfucker, I got loads of cards in my hand? And then like other ones where it's just a name of a move and like an energy and a damage counter. Like in my head, I'm like, oh, so this Makuhita, I need to apply 1 fighting energy to it so it can apply 10 damage to my opponent, etc., etc. Like I would struggle to keep up, but I feel like as soon as I picked it up, you're fucked. Because as soon as I pick it up, I'm like Ed. I
Yeah.
will. There's 153% of me that's in this now, and you will never ever get me out. So it's definitely something that once I get out of a rather hellacious couple of weeks working, it's definitely something that I want to look into. But also, I will be playing a lot of this, so bear with me. There are only so many.
But
There are
again,
only so many facets of mush that I can spare at times.
I feel like if you're someone like we are, that you will get like your hyperfixations as well. Though this is such a good thing for that like brain stimulation because it's like I've been looking into like the current meta, like what works, what doesn't, what counters what. Like even from going last week and seeing the amount of psychic decks, I'm like, right, if I can get a good like dark type deck, I should at least almost level the playing field from my lack of experience and ability by having a type advantage. And it's just little things like that, and like being able to, again, find something else to get passionate about, and also explore, put my time into as we're heading into like winter as well, darker evenings. Just another thing to keep you occupied and like keep your brain ticking over and busy, because ultimately that's what I think all hobbies should be: is that separation from the real world, something to stimulate you. And again, the fact that I get to take a hobby that I love so dearly already and add that extra layer to it and that level of enjoyment, I can't wait. So, yeah, please get involved.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for you, mate. Honestly, we've been messaging both in and out of the group chat about it, and it's something that my ADHD impatient brain just it's finding the time to sit down and learn it without my brain going, oh, pretty object elsewhere, and getting distracted. But it's something I've always said I'd love to, and anyone that if there's anyone that ever watches this that knows me out of this, like I did learn Yu-Gi-Oh when I was in my teenage years, and I was categorically the worst out of my friends. I don't know how to build decks. Even now, when we're playing Pokemon TCG Pocket, unless it's building a deck for me or friends sent me a deck, I'm just like, is this good? Is this good? I don't know. And then just hit and hope and search online, and it'll be a. I think that's it. The overwhelming feeling of, oh no, I've got to do a lot of research for me to actually be good at this scares me. But hearing the way you've spoken about it, hearing a lot of people in the community that speak about it and go to these events and really enjoy it, it is something that I would love to one day do. Like Musha said, this is going to take a lot of that time soon, and I already lead a very busy life. It's not I know, it's just probably not currently, but hopefully in the near future, especially having a good friend like yourself there available to help us is something that I'm definitely going to look into soon. Even if I don't go to a league or don't play it as much as most others, just to be able to learn it, even if it means I learn how to build a deck and then can actually, oh, I can do this and I can do this. And like you said, not only does it give something else to use my bulk for, it gives me something else to look for at a card show that isn't, oh, this one card costs 80 quid. Oh, this one person that is charging you £120 for an £80 card. It's something else to look forward to. So, but no, hearing the way you speak about it has been.
It's
been
definitely
really
for
nice
me
to
as
hear.
well. Sorry, Ed, I
And
could see you're about to say something, but I have to say it. For me, as just a friend of yours, outside of collectors and the podcast, it's really nice seeing you have such a, I don't want to say glow up because it's the wrong thing, but like you've gone from like I want to collect this, but fuck me, the hobby's draining, and Jesus Christ, I'm sick of hearing stonk dogs, and I don't care how much that costs. And like, you graded your Gengar, and it got a 10. It's a phenomenal grading. Like, I cannot believe that you have a card that is 6 years younger than me, and I'm in my 30s, that has come all the way from 1999 to get a 10. And people go, oh, you should have graded it with PSA and rah, rah, rah. Give a fuck, mate. Right? It's
Flip it, stonks.
we're here for the fun. We collect for the love, and it's really nice to be able to see you, like you say, find a brand new facet of love for this hobby that we put so much time and effort into. And that, to quote Ed, gives me that warm, fuzzy feeling inside my tum tum. Very, very nice. Very, very beautiful. Have you got any more you wanted to add on before we do move on to a rather large announcement from Ace Grading?
Yeah, just the last thing I want to say is in the lead up to the event as well, as I think it's quite a common theme that people that like Pokemon do tend to have like, we all have our like anxieties around things. We have like a lot of those sort of things, and Pokemon is that beautiful distraction for it. I am not at all ashamed to admit that in the run up to going yesterday, I spoke to the boys, I spoke to Tone, I spoke to my wife. I was so in my head about going because I was like, what if I go and I make a colossal twat of myself? What if I go, I get like the rules wrong, like they put a Pokemon down and I go snap, like I don't know what I'm doing. But like, but I was saying like, I get so in my head and like I overthink things and I get so anxious about things and I like my brain wanders and it's not a nice place to be. And the amount of times I thought about not going because I only paid like £8 to go and play, and I was like, if I don't go, it's only £8. Like that's one booster pack of a modern set nowadays. Like that's it, sort of thing. But then I was like, no, you've let your anxiety win far too many times. Just go. The worst thing that can happen, you don't enjoy it, you don't want to go again. You don't have to, but at least you've removed that like if or like the what if. Why didn't I go? I didn't want to have any regret with it. And it's one of those things that it's such a minor thing to say, but to me this was a real big internal victory despite losing every fucking game, that I'm so proud that I managed to overcome my anxiety and go to this event. So again, just know that if you have any feelings like this about going, go to a casual league. It will be worth it. And if you don't enjoy it, you just don't have to go again. Don't like have that if. Don't let your anxiety win, because that anxiety is a dick and we hate that guy, but we love you. So get out there, enjoy it, make some new friends, make some fantastic memories. Don't let your mental health win, but let me win if I battle you because I need it.
Yeah,
really
fucking get that bread, baby. Also, right, if any of you go to a live event and you see Ed and you don't take a nice picture with him and then tag the podcast so that me and Tone have physical proof that he actually did go, I'll be very disappointed in you. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Now, it's time that we talk about a big thing that's come out of the world of grading in Pokemon, and Ace Grading have made a massive, massive announcement. Now, at the time of recording, I basically got home from work and sat at my desk, and here we are. This is a podcast. And weirdly, I'm doing the intro to a segment that I'm not even going to talk about because I'm going to give it right back to Ed. And then ironically after that, we're going into the MoanZone. And then after that, it'll be Strongest Analytics. So this is the least mush you're going to get for a while. It's something that I'm worried about, but at the same time, it's very cool. It's a very hard place to be. Now, my opinion purely is that this could cause a lot of chaos, but at the same time, it's a really cool thing to be able to have and to do. Now, that's obviously very vague without any fucking context, Mush. Thanks for that, you tit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop talking now, and I'm going to pick up the plate and just kind of pass it over. Here are the mashed potatoes. Thank you ever so much. Edward, if you'd care to take over.
Absolutely. So earlier this evening, at the time of recording, Randolph went on the Ace Grading Instagram and unveiled a new feature, which is professional scans of your graded cards, so that you have a fantastic quality picture of your slab on a transparent background so that you can create your own like backdrops. Really nice touch, I think. And it's really cool that it's like you get that high resolution image that you may not be able to take yourself due to whatever like your setup is at home, anything like that. I think it's fantastic. But, and this is where there are two big buts, and I cannot lie, the fact that one, you can integrate directly with Shopify, Whatnot, and eBay, just further monetizes the hobby. Again, we talked about the PSA Vault, like our thoughts and feelings on that. I feel like gone are the days at the moment of people grading because they want to protect a card and like things like that. Again, I have no issue with people making money. I have no issue with people grading to sell. What I do draw issue with is when people grade a card and then it's immediately on their story before they've even got the card back. It's just, yep, this is the grade that it's got. It's going to be up for sale. As soon as I get it, I can post it out to you. It's like, at least pretend you give a shit. Like that's the big issue that I have there. The only other issue that I think, because I do think that this is a really nice thing overall, but this is a massive caveat, is you can go on and you can find high resolution scans of like any card from cert 200,000 onwards, which on paper sounds good, but I put in a random serial number, well, cert number, found Chinese Ninetales that had graded in an Ace 9, and I could download those scans. What's stopping me now going on eBay and being like, yep, here's this Ace slab that I've got. Look at these high-res scans you can see. Looks beautiful. Ace label, stunning, as we'd expect. I don't own that card. Like, I know there's eBay protection, but what's stopping me from selling it on, like, Vinted, on Card Market, Facebook Marketplace, any of that stuff? As soon as I've got your money, doesn't matter what's on the listing, because I'll just send you some bulk, maybe a pair of socks if I'm feeling generous. But it's like, there's so much room for like fraud in this sense, and I hate taking such a negative view on things, but I wanted to use this segment as a bit of a thing of like, please protect yourself when shopping online, particularly for graded cards. Like, and this isn't just an Ace thing. We've seen like PSA have issues with people resealing slabs, swapping out real cards for fake, cloning real serial numbers and putting like Wish special cards in. The fact that it's getting a bit closer to home in the UK, and like it can now be happening with Ace, of people using these scans and then putting them out there as their own, it does just get a bit riskier. And I almost feel like it's almost encouraging me to go to card shows if I want to buy a graded card, just because I can see it in person and be like, yep, that is absolutely what it says it is, and not like this thing that anyone could have got on the internet. I feel like this is a really great touch, but again, you should only be able to download images of your own submissions. I shouldn't be able to look at a card that Mush has submitted, download the images of that and be like, oh, by the way, I am selling this slab, like message me for details. I'll only take PayPal friends and family because, you know, I'm an outstanding member of the community, you can trust me. And just ripping somebody off. Like, it's almost making it too easy. Again, I get it for like the whatnot sellers, for the online stores, or the reputable businesses and reputable vendors, because they do exist. But I feel like this comes with a lot of risk. And again, it just further doubles down on Pokemon being a money-making hobby instead of just actually enjoying it for collecting, which is quite sad to see. But again, I'm so grateful again at this time that I've now got the actually playing the game, because you can't play with graded cards, so this won't affect me in that sense. But I'd be keen to hear your boys' thoughts on it as to what you think in regards to like this whole sort of movement that we're going in, how grading has changed from preservation to money making.
I really wanted Tone to say something because I didn't know what to say, but sweet.
Wait, I will start. I just normally always go last. I think it's fucking ridiculous. I think, again, we all know how outspoken I am on this, and how I do not like grading anyway. It was actually going to be, and probably will still be, very briefly mentioned in my moans. How it is just no one grades to own a card anymore, and that is a very loose statement because I know both of you do. You're two very rare exceptions to this. You actually grade stuff and then keep it as part of your collection. Everyone grades now just to flip and make more profit and more money. They see a nice brand new shiny card and they're like, if I can grade this and get an Ace 10 in it, or a PSA 10, or even, what is it you had, Ed? Oh, look at that beautiful Ace 10 card, and people are like, should have graded it a PSA, more money. It's not why you were doing it. But now, with this new thing, first off, it's great that you can, for content creators, it's great that you can download a good, decent image. As someone that's tried taking photos of slabs before, and you've got behind the slab background, if it's not matching or it's disgusting, it doesn't match the aesthetic, whatever. Having that feature is decent for content creators. Amazing. But it is just another way for people to drum up more money in this. And it's the 2 points that you said. Again, I was listening to his video and I watched his video. And I was like, oh, okay, I can see why it'd be a good idea, until he said, oh yeah, you can list it straight onto eBay and on the selling sites. And it's like, you're not in it now for... Literally, they are promoting that, oh, you're grading so that you can sell it on. And that's what it is now. Everyone knows, and that is basically what grading is. The owners of the company know that that's happening, and they're here for it. They're here for you to, just list it straight away so you can sell it back on. Get this so that you can go make more money elsewhere. It's a sad state of affairs in this hobby. No one collects cards anymore to enjoy their cards, and it's shocking. And then bring in the second point, the fact that you can download other people's photos, not even just your own. Everyone's going to be downloading someone else's card. Yeah, take this. Oh no, sorry. The post got dropped in a puddle. The post got dropped in the bin by accident. I'm so sorry. Oh, we're sorry. We can't send it out to you. It got ruined. It wasn't my fault. I definitely 100% had that card ready for you. Fuck off. You downloaded a photo of a vase by a random serial number you found online. It's a shocking state of affairs. Mush. I pass it back.
My computer just completely froze for a few seconds then. Apologies. The hard thing is I have graded to sell some cards, because then I got to buy cards that I wanted to collect. And there are cards that I've graded that I'll keep forever. An Arbok 1 is never going to happen again, and it will be mine forever. Thanks for the water damage, Ace. You actually gave me a Grail. I think the hard thing is and I say this knowing that one day I will probably grade some cards and be really stoked that I've managed to get a slot and grade them and keep them encapsulated forever. But since the inception of the podcast and everything that's happened before we started the podcast and I was in the hobby, and everything that's happened since we've started it, I cannot help but feel like I just don't fucking care about graded cards. Like, the more time I've spent integrated in. I'm going to use Wolverhampton Card Show as an example, right? I fucking loved walking around and going through a binder. I love being able to pick up hang on, I've got a card to hand. Like, picking up a hollow card, just going, oh, that's really cool. That looks really nice. Or like picking up a full art and being able to really get the shimmer from a light somewhere in the room. Because with a slab, although yes, it's beautiful, and like the art match labels that Ace do provide, and even that PG provide, are great. You guys do great work, and I'm not going to shit on that. But like, I don't know, I'm so much closer to Tones. I like it raw. Give it to me raw dogging. Raw is war, Monday Night Raw. There are all of my jokes about the word raw. you know, there's something about it that just gives me such a nicer feeling of collection. And I think especially lately, something that we've touched on as well is that the commons, uncommons, hollows, old school hollows, they don't get anywhere near enough appreciation. And I spend so much more time looking at the art than I do anything else that's going on, that I just don't care about grading myself. Now, the pinch of salt that I will chuck on top of that, I do not like the idea that somebody can go onto Ace, download a scan, bung it straight on their whatnot. Oh, sorry, that one's not up for sale today. Or bung it on their eBay, and then, you know, coerce somebody to buy said product, and then there's all, you know, faff and hoo ha. I feel like that it's very down the middle. 50% of me thinks that it's really cool, you know, especially for the good guys out there, the good whatnotters, the good eBayers, the genuine lovers and appreciators of what they have in the community, good vendors with a good heart that care about Pokemon, not people that want to stand at a card show with a smacked ass face, staring at their PSA book and just going, oh well, you know, it's got 12.50 on it. I'll coin flip you for 12 or 1300 so I can make an extra 50 quid and have 5 seconds of content. Cool. Some of it's really good. Some people do it really fun. Some of you just stand there and are just the fucking muddy water that I found in the desert while I was dehydrated and dying. It's just, in some ways it's hey, it's very hard to pick an actual side of how I feel. I don't really give a shit about grading at the moment, and maybe in the future if I suddenly, you know, pull a Lovebirds out of a tag team back that I, you know, remortgage my house to get, fantastic. I'm going to grade it because that's just smart business. But realistically, I am neither here nor there about it. I could sit here and moan about it forever. I really could. But that's not my job. I'm not the moaner. And I have magically slapped open the bifold doors that we have here in our imaginary studio. And we are now going to shimmy our way out as we nip over to the MoanZone.
Alright, so to go off the back of what we've just been speaking about, the first point I want to moan about is immediate selling. It's becoming far too prevalent in the community for my liking. And I will say, I understand to a sense there are good sellers that do it. I do. But when you are seeing stories of people print screening their ace returns, what their grades they got is, and then they're putting the price on that, I don't like that. And the fact that now Ace is saying that they're making that easier for people to do, to me, that is infuriating. At least have the product there and show that it's there, because that's just it's just shitty. It just shows that this hobby is only about money now. No one actually cares. It is literally just, oh, this is coming, do you want to buy it instantly? It's the same with all the pre-releases and all the new release stuff that comes out when people are getting their pre-orders and then chucking that straight up on eBay. Okay, pre-order is sorted. I know that this is now coming. Let me chuck it up. Here you go, guys. This is going to come. Buy it off me. Slabs, new products that people don't even have in their position, immediately getting sold is tacky. I don't like it, and it just kind of sucks about this hobby now. But we move, because I can't keep moaning about stuff like this, because people are just going to do it anyway, because buyers are fucking idiots and will just buy it anyway to get product in their hands. Anyway, next I want to talk about shops not having a stock limit. Now, this is a good thing we've seen a lot of shops do recently, and I think it's really helped the community actually get their hands on products. And I think it's really helped things like WH Smith doing a 5-pack limit. A lot of shops have an even stricter limit where they're doing 2 packs, or they're saying 1 ETB per person, 1 or 2 blister packs per person. And keeping to a stock limit, I think, is really good, because we see what happens now. More and more people are rushing to the shops on release days to try and get product. So it really helps all these people that are rushing, all the people that are joining the hobby. And again, everyone that's trying to get product actually get it. And I've spoken to some parents about this. Parents that are collecting or getting products for their children. We spoke about this as meant to be a child's hobby, and they are the ones that are very happy to just be able to run into the shop and grab a couple of packs. What isn't good is shops like One Stop, who I never really heard of because we don't have a One Stop in the eastern end of London near me, but everyone talks about it, and they always have packs. And there's a couple that I can drive to now that I've searched it up and know where they are. But what isn't good to hear is when One Stop are selling their entire half booster stocks to one person. When people are coming in like, I'll buy the entire half booster off you. And it's very rich to say that, and I know there's some of the Pokepals that are going to be like, oh, but we've offered to do that for you before. We've actually done that ourselves. And when we're looking at new releases and when that's happening, it does kind of suck. Because of some of the parents I spoke to, it's when they're the ones that are going nip into their corner store to go and get a couple of packs for their kids. It's release day, they already sold out by 5. And the shop owner's like, oh yeah, someone asked me for like all 3 of my booster box. So yeah, for 200 quid, I just gave them all 3 half boosters. And it's like, well, poor Sally down the road can't have 2 packs for her kids because someone's just gone and got cheap. And guess what? All them packs are going to go online for 8 to 10 quid a pack. It sucks. I think there needs to be at least a time frame of where stores are limiting it. Or again, getting more product, which goes into what we've already moaned about. So I'm going to keep this short and brief. Pokemon, print more product. Print more product. Again, we can't be having this moan every other week. But it makes no sense. Still the same amount of product is being printed. Less and less is now available for people. It is getting ridiculous. Which leads me on to Argos. Argos, about a year ago, was at least for me, and a lot of people I know, was the staple store of being able to go in at any time while it is open. You walk in, you place an order, it is there ready for you. You want a tin? There. You want 2 for 15? It's there. Triple blisters, they're there. ETBs, they even had special boxes. The exclusive, Tyranitar box. They had these things readily available. For the last few months, you need to make sure you're pre-ordering, or you need to order for collection in a couple of days' time. We just recently opened 2 packs. I went out today looking for packs, and luckily Smith's had some. Argos, on all of their Pokemon stock now, it all comes with a little asterisk, and Pokemon cards are now delivery only. That's shit. That sucks. And I get everyone's going to say, oh, well, why don't you just order it for delivery? There's something in me, and I've discussed it in the PokePals chat before. I don't always know what money I've got with my bills going in, bills coming out, things I might have to buy for the wife, for the dog, for life, for things that happen. So when I know I've got a spare 10 to 15 quid there, and I'm like, I can nip to the shops and treat myself to a couple of packs. Not anymore. I can have to go online and order for delivery only because Argos can't get the stock in anymore. Which just tells me that's because of the amount of people that are coming in and just demanding. Argos can no longer keep up with the demand of having the stock in the store. It is now a delivery only service. For me, I think that's shite. It really sucks. And again, it goes back to the previous point. Pokemon, print more bloody product. That simple. The last thing I want to talk about, being off the back of a new set release, is sealed items having their seal ripped before purchase. Now, this is something we saw with Black and White quite a bit. I think Destined Rivals was where it first started happening. It was more prevalent during this Mega Evolution release. And I will say, I, for one, think it's a good thing. I think it makes sense. I think it depends what the product is. I understand this hinders the sealed collectors quite a bit. People like to keep their sealed stock in their seal. Makes sense. As everyone knows by now, nothing stays sealed around me. Everything gets ripped. I want them cards to be freed from their bonds and released into my hands and actually used as a card should be. I think it makes sense. I think it's good. And I think there's certain things like, I think if you're ordering sealed, realistically, it's Pokemon Center or nothing. Because, why? I understand if you don't want the Pokemon Center ones. It is frustrating, but again, this is where they're only really doing this for release weekends. It might just be a patience thing. If you're a sealed collector, you just got to wait a few weeks and then you order your ETB. And then you got your sealed one for your collection. It does make sense. It's good for the hobby. However, when there are stores with big histories of being scalpers, of being backdoor buyers, of going to Costco and buying out all their stock, and then selling it for far higher prices, when there are people that are doing this and then going out into the community and saying, if you come to our shop, we will be ripping your seal. This is a little thing called virtue signaling. And it's
You know who you are,
in my opinion. It is shit. It sucks. Like, you have been, when there are people that are out there in the hobby buying loads of stock so other people can't get it and then adding further pricing onto it for their own agendas where things are 2 to 3 times higher than the price it should be, and then now a new set's out and it's like, well, if you actually come to our store, we're going to rip the seal off so that you can't then sell it on. But you're okay to go to a store and buy from them so that you can sell it on for a higher price. But you don't want no one to come to your store and do that. You want to be, look at us, look at what we are doing for the community now that everyone else is doing it. It's a bit shitty. And there was a lot of messages going to some people that do this, calling them out for it, and they were like, we're the good guys here. It's virtue signaling, and it's fucking shitty. People need to have a cold hard look in the mirror and realise that they are one of the bad guys. Some people can be a big face that everyone want to meet, but when they're performing and behaving in a way behind the screen that is shite behaviour, getting called out for it. So watch out for what card shops, card houses, card shows you go to, and make sure you're buying from actual genuine people. Because I will try and finish this off with a positive and say there are genuine, good, nice resellers out there. Even people that resell slabs that are helping you. There are a lot of collectors out there that want slabs but don't want to have to do the whole process themselves. So there are people out there that will do it to you and they won't overcharge. There are sellers out there that are really good to their community. Look for the good ones, not the virtue signalers. And that is where we will end today. We'll stop hearing my angry voice and go into the beautiful, most delectable voice of Ed as we go into his strong analytics.
Welcome back to the Strongest Analytics, the only segment where nostalgia hits harder than a Mega Ampharos, and your wallet takes more critical hits than a level 5 Pidgey facing Lance. I'm your host as always, the Poke Strongman, and today we're diving into the lush, the splashy, and ever so slightly porky world of Legends ZA. Specifically, the most expensive cards featuring the starter trio that defined a generation, and also Tepig. That's right, we're talking Chikorita, Totodile and Tepig, plus their final evolutions Meganium, Feraligatr and Emboar. Because nothing says legendary era like reprinting Johto nostalgia and a Unova barbecue mascot in the same set. So let's count them down. Tepig, illustration rare, from White Flare coming up in the 6th spot at £13. Looks like pork is reduced to clear this evening. Our fiery pig friend can't catch a financial break. Still adorable, still undercooked in the market. At £13, it's less Grail card and more Tesco meal deal with extra sauce. In the 5th spot, we have the 2002 Japanese McDonald's Totodile promo that comes in at around £37 for a near mint copy. Totodile out here doing what he does best, grinning, dancing, and somehow costing less than a box of celebrations. Equal parts nostalgia and serotonin, this promo is the literal bite-sized version of joy. In the 4th spot, we have, from the same promo series, the Japanese Chikorita promo. That's right, for the same price your grandparents bought their house and a holiday home in Mexico for, you could own this adorable leafy Muck promo. Minty fresh nostalgia straight from the golden arches of memory lane, costing £75. As we enter the top 3, in the 3rd spot we have the Emboar Secret Rare from Next Destinies. Now this will set you back around £100 for a near mint copy. As we get into more of the vintage cards, that is quite a big stipulation. Blue flames, big belly, bigger energy bills. Emboar looks like he's ready to barbecue both his enemies and your disposable income. The perfect card if you like your collector's items well done. In 2nd spot, we have the Meganium 1st edition holo from Neo Genesis. Chikorita's final form and your financial final straw. Meganium's glowing like it absorbed all the world's sunlight and your paycheck at the same time. Nobody picked it in-game, but everyone's picking it up at auction because stonks. And in the top spot, we have the Feraligatr from Neo Genesis, also 1st edition, which will set you back around £180. Big, blue, and broke. Johto's loudest crocodile champs its way to the top with a grin that says, "You overpaid, and I love that for you." The holo's so bright it could double as a floodlight for your poor financial decisions. My eyes are fucking stinging.
Ow! My eyes! My beautiful eyes!
So what's the takeaway here? Legends ZA is a nostalgia buffet, and we're all going back for seconds. The Johto starters are carrying this set like it's the early 2000s again, while Tepig sneaks in as the honorary emotional support fire type. The average top card from this list is $92.50, which is about the same price that you paid for your last booster box before the butthole Pikachu sent scalpers crazy with Surging Sparks. Meganium leads only second to Feraligatr as the unexpected queen of value, while Feraligatr holds the fort as the predictable power pick. And poor Emboar finally getting some heat, even if it's mostly from his own fire pit. If you're getting into Legends ZA, remember, grass grows, water flows, and fire burns your savings account. That's it for this week's Strongest Analytics. Until next time, stay strong, keep your slabs straight, and remember, even if your starter's base form was weak in battle, their card prices might just be super effective against your wallet. Speaking about nostalgia and cards from previous years, let's take a little look at this card of ours.
Hello and welcome back. Thank you ever so much to Ed and Tone for their wonderful, wonderful segments. As you could tell by mine and Tone's reactions to Ed's Strongest Analytics, we strongly can advise putting yourself on mute or you will blow the ears off everybody between here and Southampton. It is time for us to have the best triple threat since Randy Orton versus Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. Yes, that is one hell of a fucking reference. Thank you, I get paid in pennies. It is time for this little card of art where we go head to head to head as we put our collections against each other and you, the wonderful public, vote for the winner. Now, I finally managed to pick up a win. It did make me feel quite good. Thank you ever so much to everybody. Whoop, 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 whoop. Big up Mimikyu. It now with Lucario. So, am I going to keep top spot? No, is quite simply the answer, because of course, actually deep down, you all hate me like a step-parent. So, I'm going to read out the results. Ed's going to have a little bit of a hissy fit. I'm going to cry, and then Tone's going to throw some small celebration, because he's got 63 burner accounts and 84 cousins. Unfortunately, in last place, with 17% of the vote, and way too much stress that went to his therapist, it is Ed and his Giratina from Dragons Exalted. A wonderful card, and you're all absolute morons.
Shame on you and you.
I genuinely do not have a clue how this card came in last place. Genuinely, as much as I appreciate the love that my card was shown, that to me is a nicer card. But I digress, because in second place, with 36% of the vote, it is myself and my, for some reason, Mushikyu, as somebody's put it on the podcast feed, but my Mimikyu V, the trainer gallery. I'm going to do this because I'm going to have to edit it in because I have sent it away. It is now living in the hands of one of our wonderful Patreons, Luke Cario. Which, of course, means in first place, with 47% of the vote, it is a decent-sized victory. It is Tone and his Tone Stoice. Congratulations, Tone. How does it feel to be back on top spot? It doesn't matter how it feels to be back on top spot. No joke. No joke.
Yeah,
Go on. Have your moment.
It feels good. Look, both your cards were stunning. It was great. I get a lot of hate on here from you two alone, but it is a stunning...
It's mad that you leave deserved out of that statement. I get deserved hate.
No, I don't get deserved hate. I get hate because I've won a couple with decent cards, yeah? But I loved both your cards. They were both incredible. This is also...
It is. I am actually genuinely jealous. I think it has... I think I did add it to my list of cards I need to get before I die, which I think is actually the list of cards that I've got on my phone now. But nevertheless, with myself dropping out of top spot and Ed coming in last, like any of the people that work for Acme in the Looney Tunes universe, it means that we must bring a brand new weapon to the battlefield. Now, usually I will dive in to the pool and hide underwater until everyone else is gone, but I'm going to go first because I feel like I want to say 2 words. Fuck you. And then I'm going to follow it up with 3 words. Old Japanese back. That's right. I've taken a leaf out of Ed's book and thrown it at Tone. And because it's a leaf, it's got absolutely no power. But I'll tell you what is powerful. The psychic ability of Sabrina's Alakazam Hollow. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I have dived into what is possibly mine and Ed's favourite vintage set, Bar Team Rocket, and I have pulled out the Spoony Demon himself. One of my favourite cards alongside Lieutenant Sergius Firo in this set. An absolute beauty. I don't think if I grade it, it'd get a 10 like Ed's Gengar, so I'm bringing it here to the table. Raw and upfront.
Oh. So, seeing what I'm going up against, I'm just going to change my pick to a card I have to hand. It is the Pokeball Pokegear 3.0 from Black Ball. Nah, what I was going to bring, in a weird twist of events, I am actually the only one bringing an English card, which is so off character for me. But this card, I think, is truly fantastic from one of the best sets of Sword and Shield. I am bringing from Crown Zenith, all the way from the Galarian Gallery, it is actually the Sleepy Mew. I think this card is nothing short of stunning. The fact that you have Mew front and centre, you have the Galarian Rapidash, Ponyta rather, you have Cramorant, which I've actually come to love from playing Pokemon Unite.
I don't want to talk about Cramorant in Unite.
But I just feel like as an artwork goes, the crazy shine that it's got, I think this card is nothing short of beautiful. But it should be Mush's Alakazam that wins.
If it's not, fair enough. I feel like Mew's got a big chance because everyone's, putting it in their mouth and doing the noise at the moment. Everyone loves a Mew card.
Yeah, Mew's had a massive price hike.
There's a lot of movement.
I think all of them have, but yeah.
Moving on. So yes, if you would like to vote For Sabrina's Alakazam, Ed's Sleepy Mew. Now you're going to introduce your own card. Or Tone's Blastoise. Shut up.
My big man
You can go over to the Pokepals _podcast on Instagram and you can vote for your favourite. I'm really sad if it's not me now because I got endorsed by Ed and he's like my favourite person.
I do not think I will be vastly surprised if you don't win. Such a great card.
Thanks. Do you know what's really bad is that I have a small stack of cards. I'm going to actually reach it because it's reachable. I say small stack. I've got a stack of cards here that...
yes, small.
SMOL, small. I have a stack of cards that I need to take pictures of for my own social media post because I like taking pictures of shiny cardboard outside in the sunshine. It's my thing. And it's literally the one that was on top. That was how I decided this week because I got home from work. I was like, shit, I haven't picked the card. So if it wins, the Lords of Fate have blessed me and I will be very, very grateful. Now...
It is a great card.
A little card of ours is a wonderful, wonderful thing. And it's always fun to go against each other and have the triple threat match every week. But eventually we will have a champion. And that champion will be inducted into a wonderful place. So let us step in to the momentous and beautiful museum that is the PokéPals Podcast Hall of Fame. And welcome back to the most illustrious Hall of Fame you can find on the internet anywhere between here and somewhere else. It is time for us to put in our second inductee into the Hall of Fame. I don't know what I just did with my jaw when I said inductee then, but Jesus Christ, that hurt. Anyway, we're going to put in our second inductee. In our first inductee, we had the feeling of beating Whitney, because there's nothing quite like battering a bit of beef. Yes, fuck your meal tank. So, we had three wonderful options. We had, from myself, I wanted to induct the Team Rocket set. It is my favourite set of all time, and it gave me my favourite card of all time in the Dark Arbok, and I wanted it to be put upon the pedestal that it deserves to be on. Jesus Christ, that's a tongue twister. From Tone, we had the very, very wholesome moment from the anime in which Squirtle left his Squirtle squad and laid down his sunglasses so that he may succulently jump upon the back of Ash Ketchum and join his team. I threw in an extra S just for fun. And finally, our strongest analytical man ever decided to go into my wardrobe, steal my things, and put into the Hall of Fame my very own Segway hat. Now, obviously, it only being the second week, it's quite a precedent that with 14% of the vote and in last place, unfortunately, was Tone, with Squirtle joining Ash's team. No one is reminiscing as hard as Tone is. That's not the shocker, because I think we all know it wasn't going to beat my pick. But what I think the shocker is that in joint first place, with 43% of the vote each, it is my pick of the Team Rocket set and Ed's pick of my Segway hat. Now, without the ability to do a true tiebreaker, utilising all of you wonderful people that are watching the podcast and our Patreons, as Tone has come last, we are going to give Tone the deciding choice, because I think it is only fair. So if Tone and Ed were to draw, I would want the deciding pick, and if me and Tone were to draw, I would like Ed to have the deciding pick. I think it's the only fair way to break it, because Ed's just going to go, I want my pick, and I'm just going to go, I want my pick. So I think the only fair way to drop this is to let Tone have the deciding vote, and then swiftly tell him that he's fucking wrong and flip a coin. So, I joke, but
the tone
yes.
choice.
So for a tonal shift, oi oi, another segment we'll get one day, I would like Tone to take this moment to centre himself, gather his chi, if you will, and then let out a hame hame ha, I'm going to pick this one. Was that good? Was that good Dragon Ball, Ed?
First of all,
I mean, you got the name of the movie.
What is it? It's not hame hame ha.
It's
That's what I said. Kamehameha. I just said it really fast.
You said.
I didn't mean for it to come out with
Hamehame.
such a hey. It was meant to be a K. Kamehameha.
Or the talk of Tepig has got hammer.
That's it.
All right, stop talking around. Come on.
Yeah.
All right.
Bitch, yeah.
First off, I'm going to say I'm disappointed I only got 17%.
That was more than you got, but fair enough.
Like, it's Squirtle.
That was right.
14.
What did I get? It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. And again, I am just going to say it's, as much as it is a great thing, it is a wondrous thing, it's an amazing thing. Mush's Segway hat is a very new thing to this world in this Pokemon community. You don't have a brand new wrestler go straight into a Hall of Fame. It's not how it happens. I think it's sad and sickening that Squirtle got as low as votes as it got, but I never expected it to win because I personally, if I had to vote, I would have voted, and I am going to say being inducted this week is the Team Rocket set.
We're blasting off again, but this time it's to our final destination. As we welcome into the PokePals Podcast Hall of Fame, the Team Rocket set.
Incredible set. Deserves it.
Big time.
I would love to sit here and do the full Team Rocket spiel, but A, I don't want to admit that I know all of it off by heart, word for word, and B, it's really late and I'm tired. So thank you ever so much, Tone, for making the deciding foe. That means that once again, we will have to come up with new things for our Hall of Fame. Now, I've struggled to pick something, and I'm still in my brain umming and ahhing. So I'm going to let...
Shotgun not first. Because I always go first.
I was going to say, and I'll pass it to Ed, then
Give him
Tone.
first pick.
Jesus, man. Relax.
So
I'm not leaving alone.
this is this pick will be a surprise to absolutely nobody that has seen all of my previous Little Card of Ours entries. For this week, I am actually going to nominate for the Hall of Fame because it is a piece of Pokemon history, Pokemon legacy. It is what got us where we are today. I am actually going to nominate the old back Japanese card design. I think it is absolutely stunning. It is something that I don't feel like gets talked about enough. I think everyone obviously loves the international back that you get on English, Japanese, Korean, Chinese, not Japanese, sorry, English, Korean, Chinese, and other. But for me, the standard Japanese back clears it, and the old back design clears the Japanese current design. I think it is absolutely incredible. I remember seeing the back as a kid and being like, wow, that's awesome. The fact that it says Pocket Monsters as well, like, yes, there's a lot of nostalgia there, but as someone that has really fallen in love with vintage cards and like just vintage hollows at the moment in general, I feel like I would be doing the collector in me a disservice, but also the Pokemon fan and historian that I claim to be at times, to not nominate old back Japanese as a design for the Hall of Fame.
Good pick.
Scene.
Good pick. I am going to pick a moment that will hopefully bring a lot of nostalgic love from everyone. Possibly the most important point of the games, of our lives, of our childhoods. We bring it up for everyone. The moment that you, in the game, have to choose between Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. I am talking about your very first choice of starter Pokemon. That moment being in Oak's lab in the game and choosing your first starter.
Nice.
And that was the Hall of Fame this week. So
Young man, please
Tone
stop,
in.
please. I've still really struggled to actually pick something that I can definitively sit behind and go, this for me is exactly what I want to go into the Hall of Fame, and I think this is fantastic. And I keep, this one in my brain, and it's really hard to pick something. So I'm just going to pick White Monster. No, I'm joking. I'm just yanking your chain. I actually have made a decision. I'm just taking the piss. I'm going to be entering into the Hall of Fame, and because I have it to hand, Pokemon Scarlet and or Violet, depending on which one you had. I put over 900 hours, and it's up to 900 now, up to 900 hours and more into this game. I completed all 3 living dexes. I have about 83%, maybe more. It's very hard to tell when I don't actually have a calculator to figure it out. The way through a shiny living dex on this, and it will be something that I will continually go back to because there's a couple of Argos that need to make their way over to Legends ZA to come and hang out with me. This game reinvigorated my genuine love for collection, not just video game collecting them all, catching them all like I'm Ash Ketchum. But because of this game, I bought Paldea Evolved. Because of this game, I bought other cards. Because of this game, myself and my friend Lucas went to a WH Smith and bought Scarlet and Violet base set. Without this, I wouldn't sit here and chat this much shit about Pokemon as I do every 2 weeks. This game, genuinely, whether you loved it or hated it and watched everything glitch out and shake when you were doing a picnic, this, whether you want to say it or not, is a fucking good Pokemon game. And it gave so much back to so many people. And if this was your first Pokemon game, you have no idea how hard we had to grind in the 90s and early 2000s. Level 36 was fucking hard to get to. Right? Rare candies were 1 or 2 a piece a game. The EXP share was annoyingly shit and only worked for 1 Pokemon. And TMs, don't even talk to me about TMs. You could only use those once. Right? Do you know how hard it is to decide who gets Flamethrower when you run a team of poison types? Very frustrating. But for me, I'm going to be inducting Pokemon Scarlet because I think truly to my heart, it's the game that truly got me back into not just VGC, but TCG, TBH, DVD, VHS, and all that other shit that I do when I do the abbreviations joke. It's genuinely something that I hold very dear to my heart, and even though I am now going to go and sweat some Legends ZA and probably go, Ed, how'd you do this? It's something that I want to enter in. So, to recap, if you would like to vote for Ed and the addition of old back Japanese artwork, you can on our Patreon. If you would like to vote for Tone and his choice of collecting your very first starter Pokemon, you can do so at our Patreon. And if you would like to vote for my choice of Pokemon Scarlet, the video game, you can do so, as I've said, by going over to our Patreon, which is patreon.com/PokePals Podcast. As always, as we now do for the rest of our episodes, it is time for us to end. The Hall of Fame is the finalement moment that we come to, the cusp of all things we talk about here on the PokePals Podcast. From myself, the big strong man Edward, and ToneZone TCG, the most handsome man I've ever seen. And can we just give a moment for that ghastly t-shirt, because god damn is that good. Go on, show your chest. Yeah, that's it, push it out. Yeah, that's a good girl.
I thought you were.
Fuck's sake, Edward! Oh, that went so under the radar, it was a Minum card.
I didn't even hear.
Yeah, it's fine, don't worry. If anyone's picked it up on the podcast, you are absolute legends. Thank you all so much for joining us here on the Pokepals Podcast. Please do nip over to PokePals_podcast on Instagram. Give us a follow, a like, and a comment on our latest post. Go and find me at Pokemush_. Go and find at the.poke.strongman and at ToneZone TCG on Instagram. Follow all 3 of us collectively. Then go over to the Patreon patreon.com/PokePals Podcast and sub to the Patreon. It's £3 a month. It's not a lot of money to you, but it means a hell of a lot to us, and it helps us do more card shows, more fun stuff, and gets us brand new equipment so that we can do even more crazy editing things. Have a lovely day. See you. Love you. Bye.
My Switch 2 is not going to know what fucking hit it.